This is the Mighty Oba, Sports Director for 1080 AM WFO Radio. As we come down to the end of the NFL season, a lot of question marks for the Buffalo Bills. Who will be the next head coach or general manager of the Buffalo Bills? One idea that I put out there was making Perry Fewell last week as the head coach. Because he lost last week to New England, I think his chances are very, very slim. But if he is not made the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, which I will say again, I do think Perry Fewell would be a very good head coach for the Buffalo Bills. One of my choices for the Buffalo Bills as a head coach, after they have hired a very good general manager, who there are very many choices out there that could come in and turn around this organization, I would hire as a head coach Mike Martz. Mike Martz would be an immediate impact coach on the Buffalo Bills. And with Mike Martz, I would hope that because Perry Fewell worked with Mike Martz as a defensive back coach with the St. Louis Rams, that he would make Perry Fewell the defensive coordinator and also retain the services of his former special teams coach, Bobby April, as his special teams coach. I would immediately fire the entire offensive staff except for Alex Van Pelt, who I would keep as a quarterback coach / offensive coordinator, with the understanding that, if you bring in Mike Martz, you're running Mike Martz's offense, and Mike Martz is running the offense. He will be the offensive coordinator and / head coach. But you can have Alex here and keep Alex, because Alex is a original Buffalo Bill. He has been very loyal to the city and organization. He was put in an unwinnable situation by Dick Gerard, who made him an offensive coordinator long before he was ready to be an offensive coordinator in this league. I think he's done a very good job for the amount of experience and the situation he was put in, but I think it would be in his best interest to remain under the tutelage of a person with the pedigree of a Mike Martz, who has won a Super Bowl as an offensive coordinator and was really should have won a second Super Bowl until the New England Patriots kicked a last-minute field goal and they lost the Super Bowl in New Orleans back in 2002. But I think Mike Martz would be a very good head coach that would come in and keep real continuity. That's the continuity that I think Russ Brandon and Ralph Wilson were talking about when they kept Dick Gerard. If you hire Mike Martz as the new head coach, and he keeps Perry Fewell as a defensive coordinator, and keeps Bobby April as a special team coach, comes in and immediately fires most of the offensive staff, keeps Alex Van Pelt, because Alex Van Pelt with due diligence is going to be a very good offensive coordinator in this league, but needs more tutelage, and he immediately fires John Alari, the strength and conditioning coach, I think you can begin to really move the Buffalo Bills organization back to the point that it needs to be. And this would be the best hire for the Buffalo Bills. You wouldn't have to give him the kitchen sink. He would come here and make an immediate impact. He would look at the talent that he has. You would keep most of the talent that you have on the defensive side of the ball, and the organization will replace players that have been unproductive, such as your Dante Whitners, such as your Aaron Schobels, such as your Ryan Denny's and Chris Kelsey's, that have no business making the amount of money that they make at the NFL level. You would bring in players that would replace them and begin to turn this organization around very quickly. I think the hire, if Perry Fewell is not hired as the head coach, the right hire is Mike Martz. This is the Mighty Oba. We'll see you next week right here on 1080 AM WFO Radio on Saturdays, and right here on YouTube on CLB